Hi, this is Fred with Quality One Engravers. I'm just going to show you real quickly how you can fix some engraving if you can do a fill pattern over the top of it. Let's take for example that this number 10 should have been a 15. First thing I'm going to do is, if this were selecting more than just this, I would have to first go under layout and ungroup it, but since it's only selecting here, I can delete just the tool path. So now what I want to do is engrave a box around here. So to create a box is basically a rectangle. Take your rectangle, just draw it on the screen, and while it's here you can kind of move it around. You can center it over your engraving. If you know the lettering you're going to be putting on here, let's say it's the number 20, then you may want to go a little bit wider. That way it will encompass all of the 20 and the 0, since the number 1 is relatively narrow. So let's assume that it's going to be something like the number 20. So now if you want to do a radius, always go to the right. This upper right corner does a radius and the upper left does a scallop. So pretty easy to remember we want a radius, so I'm going to go to the upper right hand corner. Now if you want to dial in an exact number here, you can double click. This is the radius, and maybe I want to put in 0.09 and hit enter, and you can see how that radius changed. And then just click away or click on the pointer tool, either one. And now what I'm going to do is go to engrave, create a tool path, fill, and possibly you're using maybe like a 60 cutter for doing that big route away, and probably you're going to be somewhere in the 85% overlap. Probably sweep tool down, and the fill angle on this will go straight across, which is 0, which is horizontal. And I'm going to click on OK, and there's my fill pattern. Now this right here is I made it layer 31, so let me just show you that. Engrave, create tool path, fill, and that's where it came up with 31. Now because it's a 60 cutter, maybe I would have selected P60. Selected P60. Leave it at a 0 depth for your application here, since you're using a nose and the touch sensor. So I'm going to click on OK. And there's my fill pattern, and that's the engraving that I select. So if I want to select just this engraving, I'm going to hold down. You can of course just click on it, and that's all that you're going to engrave. But I always tell people, if you want to get an A in the class, you hold down the Alt key and click on the 60. Now that's the only thing that you can select. That's the only item that I can select on this drawing. And then of course now you're going to go to engrave, output, and then this should be the only thing that's going to be sent. Let me just close out of that.